said it before, I'm going to say it again. Joe Biden needs to resign, and he needs to do it right away. I have no faith anymore in his ability to lead or command our armed forces. Today's testimony of Biden's top military leaders confirmed what I'd be telling you from the start, that Joe Biden put optics and politics over American lives. He wanted out of Afghanistan so badly he'd do it no matter what the cost. We learned again today that Joe Biden lied when he told us that no one, no military commander, recommended keeping a small force in place, that no one recommended holding Bagram Air Force Base, a lie, that no one told him the swift collapse of the Afghan military and the government was a real possibility. Instead, Joe Biden disregarded sound advice from military leaders. He recklessly left thousands of Americans stranded and, of course, got 13 of our servicemen and women killed. Yet what we learned over the past 2 days now is that no one, not Joe Biden, not his commanders, wants to take any responsibility for it all.
It has become abundantly clear that the American people have completely lost confidence in your ability to do your job. General Milley, will you now resign?
I serve at the pleasure of the President, Mr. Jackson.
Ha, 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 ha. He laughs. You know how disrespectful that is? There's a lot of people calling for his resignation, including myself and Ronnie Jackson, the congressman there. General Mark Milley, Secretary Lloyd Austin, and General McKenzie all admitted under oath that the Afghanistan withdrawal was a, quote, strategic failure. But at the same time, the three of them refused to take any blame in all of this. Think about this. They are the top military leaders. So whose failure is it then? Listening to them, it becomes clear. Joe Biden ignored the recommendation from military commanders, ignored them. For that reckless, deadly, politics-as-usual decision to ignore them, Joe Biden needs to step down immediately.
My assessment was back in the fall of 20, and it remained consistent throughout, that we should keep a steady state of 2,500, and it could bounce up to 3,500, maybe something like that, in order to move toward a negotiated, gated solution.
Their input was received by the president and considered by the president, for sure.
Right, but we were told he didn't hear any of that, remember? So this week, Joe Biden went, well, back to the basics. He hid in the basement again, disappear from sight. When his disasters are so obvious and unavoidable, his handlers just hide him. All the while hoping Milley and Austin and McKenzie will cover for Joe Biden, arrogantly and remorseless.
We're questioning, in your official capacity, going and undermining the chain of command, which is obviously what you did. You've created this whole chain of communication narrative.
Did not undermine the chain of command in
yeah,
any manner,
you did.
shape, or form.
You absolutely did. And it
did not.
He wants to bicker. The problem is we don't have time for bickering. We want answers. General Milley went behind President Trump's back and, by the book, undermined the commander-in-chief with his calls to the Chinese Communist Party. So I want to know, why the double standard here? If Milley was so content with undermining President Trump for the reason of, quote, not starting a war, which is ridiculous, why was the same standard not applied to Joe Biden, who Milley knew was putting a terrorist organization back in charge and American lives at risk?
I think the Taliban sitting in Kabul significantly emboldens the radical jihadi movement globally. The analogy I've used with many others is it likely will put a shot of adrenaline into their arm right now and declaring it a major victory. So I think it's a big morale boost.
No, wait a second. We were told you could trust the Taliban, all is good. What is going on with Joe Biden when we hear these generals? It's unbelievable. Either Joe Biden lied or he forgot. I don't recall, Joe Biden said, remember? Either one is absolutely a travesty if this is the case. So, as you just heard Milley there, we now have the possibility of a 9/11 type terrorist attack on the United States as a real, very real possibility under the Biden regime. Milley knows it, Secretary Austin knows it, and Joe Biden knows it. But that's not a good look for them, right? So what do? They focus on the fantasy of domestic terrorists. That's you and me, by the way, instead. And Who are these people to Mark Milley? As I said, they're you, me, anybody who watches Newsmax. Maybe Newsmax itself is on the list of domestic terrorists.
You told Bob Woodward that you wrote in a list in your notebook of groups that you personally believe were responsible for the attack and that you associated with it. It also included 2 conservative media outlets that you listed in your notebook, including the Epoch Times, which, by the way, is a news outlet that was founded by critics of the Chinese Communist Party, and Newsmax, which is the second most watched conservative media outlet in the country today. Do your notes about January 6th reference both Epoch Times and Newsmax as on a list of domestic terrorists?
I'm not recalling this conversation at all.
It's in the book.
It may be in the book. I haven't read the book. I'm not recalling a conversation about Newsmax, Epoch Times.
I don't believe a word that man says. Do any of you? So he denies it. There it is right there in the book. Newsmax, the conservative news website, which had been friendly toward Trump for a long time. This is unbelievable. It's in Woodward's book. First and foremost, General Milley leaking anything to journalists would be enough for him to be removed from his position. And second, including Newsmax, in a list of groups responsible for the January 6th security breach is absolutely preposterous, and it's untruthful. Newsmax, from the get-go, denounced whatever violence there was that day. Just watch.
We here have condemned violent protests and riots of all kinds on this network.
What really bugged me was the vandalism inside that you're seeing some of the video now, the vandalism inside the nation's capital.
This is un-American. This is not what we do. We are better than this, and we must denounce this.
Boy, Spicer, Salcedo, boy, they look like they're really planning a terrorist attack here, General Milley. They're denouncing all of it. I've denounced the violence there. I've also denounced locking up grandmas and grandpas that were walking through there taking selfies. This is all ridiculous. But this is what we get now on stage? It's unreal. So making news organizations out to be domestic terrorists is opening a dangerous Pandora's box to communism. Right out of the, well, guess who? Obama, Biden, Clinton playbook. These 3 generals need to resign, along with the president, Joe Biden. And we need to restore accountability within our military, within our government, and we need to do it right now.
Grant Stinchfield is on Newsmax every night, fighting for the America First agenda.